everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Zara and today I'm going to be reacting to 5-star reviews of Crescent City 2. So my review of Crescent City 2 was one of my first rant review videos on my channel, and I have to say it was a very cathartic experience. I feel like that video actually generated a lot of community of everybody's shared frustration with that book. And so I've done a few of these reacting to videos now, and a lot of you actually quite like these videos. So I am going to do one for this. Disclaimer as always, this is a joke, it's funny, and please don't take anything personally. If I make a comment, I'm being sarcastic, I'm British, it's what we do. Please don't take it personally, it's just for fun. It's just to make people laugh and have a good time. If you like this book, good for you. If you didn't, let's share in the laughs together. So let's get started. We have 10. I haven't seen them. Let's jump in. So the first one is spoiler-free summary of this book in 4 words. Porn with a plot. That is true. Yeah, I mean, I don't remember there being as much smut as many of the other SJM books. Like compared to the most recent ACOTAR book, I forgot the name of it, but this one didn't have nearly as much. I mean, there's definitely a few scenes that I can remember, but I feel like the characters in this book talk a lot about sex, and there's like a lot of horniness and stuff, but aside from like a few major scenes, I don't actually remember there being that much. It's also possible that I just shut my brain off to it because I was so disengaged from this book. So yeah, I don't actually entirely disagree, but I also don't entirely agree because I can't remember how accurate that statement is. All right, next we have this one. I'm not gonna shout this first part because it's all in caps lock, but you can read it as though I'm shouting in your ears. I'm screaming, literally, I might have died. What an ending. I abso-freaking-lutely love you, Sarah J. Maas. Oh my gosh. Please excuse my screaming. I have lived. Okay, I think I've calmed down enough now to review this now that I've had time to process the bombshell Sarah dropped. I swear I've been admiring that last chapter ever since I finished it. I had definitely stopped breathing, especially when the R word was dropped. How can you admire a chapter? That doesn't make sense. Like, that doesn't even make sense. I don't think she means admire. Like, maybe reflecting on that last chapter, but admire doesn't sound right here. Let me go on. Firstly, kudos to Sarah for writing such a masterpiece. My friend, you're wrong. It's trash. It's absolute trash. There's plot holes in it. Most of the book doesn't even need to be there because Sarah undermines the whole plot. So, wouldn't say it's a masterpiece. If it was a masterpiece, it wouldn't have needed to have done that. I think it's going to be one of the best reads of 2022. Incorrect. I don't think I've read a bad review of it so far, and rightly so. Well, you clearly didn't see my rant review. The book starts off at a good pace, which she maintained throughout, especially compared to House of Earth and Blood. I wouldn't really say that the bar was that high in the first place. So to say that the pace was better is not really saying much. This was so much better than what I expected. If I could have given more than 5 stars, I would. I completely disagree with everything this person said, but that's okay. Let's move into the next one. My mind was blown away by it. My attention was absorbed by it, and my heart adored it. How poetic. I have no hesitation in giving 5 sensational stars for another mind-blowing and epic fantasy that is possibly my favourite SJM novel yet. Wow. Blown away by it, absorbed by it, adored it. I mean, I would say similar things, but just flip it. What's the inverse of blown away by it? I was brought in by it, but that doesn't make sense. Anybody tell me what the inverse of blown away by it is down below. I was definitely not absorbed by it, and my heart hated it. And I definitely gave it 1 unsensational star. Next. Again, I'm not going to scream this because my voice doesn't go that high-pitched. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Screaming, shaking, oh my god, that ending. I knew it. I knew something like this would happen. I've never been more hyped for the next book. Cry phase. I'm heartbroken, excited, and reeling so much from that cliffhanger. The way it ended. CC3 better come out next year before any longer is just too cruel. Dude, you need to use more full stops. More full stops. And it kind of sounds like you're having like I don't know, like you've eaten too much sugar or something. But yeah, I mean, I don't get it. I don't get why people like that ending so much. If anything, it had the complete adverse reaction with me. I think I remember saying in my review that it just felt like a cheap tactic. I know SJM has been pointing to this broader SJM universe, but it felt very hapdash. Like it didn't really feel like it was that well thought out. I am very curious to see where it goes in the next book, because I think that's going to be very telling as to whether she really thought this through. Next one. Here we go. What the fuck? Where do I even begin? First of all, Bryce and Hunt. That's it. That's the sentence. I hate Bryce and Hunt together. I think they're the two most unbearable characters to have ever existed on the same page. So we're already disagreeing. Good start. Second of all, Rune and Day. I've never been so invested in a secondary relationship like I am with theirs. I was literally kicking my feet in the air and giggling every time they spoke to each other. I'm not gonna lie, I did actually quite like their interactions. I did see it coming from pretty much as soon as we got introduced to that whole part of the story. But I didn't hate those bits, so there's that. And lastly, that entire plot blew my mind. Like, I'm genuinely speechless. And if you know me, that's saying a lot. 1 minute I was scratching my head like, what is happening in this book right now? But wow, it really did come together in the end. I don't agree. Sarah J. Maas truly has the mind of a mastermind, and you can't convince me otherwise. Yeah, I don't agree. I don't think she is a mastermind. Again, she completely undermined her entire plot by basically showing us that all the characters went on a mindless goose chase for literally no reason. Like, 90% of the book didn't need to happen. Like, it did not need to happen. I think any author who employs the kind of, I don't know, it's not a trope, but like the device of having like a crew of characters do a quest together, and then it turns out it's like literally pointless. It just doesn't make sense to me. So yeah, we agree on one thing, but everything else we disagree on. Next, 5 dazzling stars. This is an action-packed fantasy about power, betrayal, passion, and love. Sophie, who was vital, information is captured and killed when her brother from... Okay, blah, 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 blah. I'm not going to read the summary. I absolutely loved this book. The pacing was perfect, and the book was action-packed from the beginning till the end. I love Bryce so much. She is caring, kind, strong, and will do anything for the ones she loves. I'm in love with Hunt. He is sweet, caring, devilishly handsome, and strong. I also love Rune. He is kind, passionate, smart, and very handsome. Damn, she's really, like, making the dating profiles for all these people. I loved the banter between Bryce and Hunt. I really like the side characters. They are unique and have their own stories and ambitions. I was completely swept away by the beautiful writing and the fantastical world. The writing was terrible. Absolutely terrible. I love the inclusion of fantastical creatures, including fae, wolves, witches, dragons, angels, mare, and more. There were so many shocking twists and turns in that book that I didn't expect. The ending was so shocking and amazing. I'm so speechless. I can't wait for the next book. I think a lot of it was really predictable, and I think that's one of my biggest issues with SJM is that she's kind of lost originality, and she's kind of just repeating the same things that she's done in other books of hers. And that's kind of why I just feel so bored when I read her books now. Next up, we have mind-blowing action-packed fantasy. Honestly, I don't think I've ever read a book with as many twists and turns as Hossab. I never knew where this was going. I was completely shocked with most of the revelations. Seriously, Danica. I talked about the Danica revelation, and I talked about how that was something that I predicted really early on. And I think the Danica revelation also really undermines one of the key aspects of this series, which is the relationship between Bryce and Danica. You know, the book really centers on their friendship and their relationship and their love for each other, their sisterhood. But then the revelations that we get about Danica actually indicate that she lied a lot to Bryce, and that just makes you wonder what she really thought of her. Because you wouldn't lie to your best mate. Like, you just wouldn't. At least not what she was lying about anyway. Then let's continue. Enjoyed most of the new characters. Absolutely loved all of the Hunt content. Why doesn't anyone warn you how delicious this male is? Oh, he's so gross. That sentence made me feel really dirty for some reason. Oh, Hunt is gross. He's like a glorious blend of Rowan, Whitethorn, Cassian, Azrael, and Recent. That's not a good thing. SJM sure knows how to write her female. She really doesn't, because that's why they're all alike. Like, that's literally why they're all carbon copies of each other. I'm so glad that I waited to read House of Earth and Blood for my first time right before this one came out. I'd wanted to research fan theories, blah, blah, blah. My mind is still completely blown from that ending, and maybe I'll be able to form coherent thoughts in a day or two and write a better review. Gotta disagree with everything you said. Next up, we have this book, Holy Gods. SJM is the master of found family, mated love, and epic destiny. I have no words for how amazing this book was. I'm attached to each and every character in this series. I get Sarah just had a baby, but I'll be impatiently waiting for the third book in this series. There's many directions this can go in. My mind is blown. Light it up. Is she the master of found family, mated love, and epic destiny? I guess mates, she's pretty... I wouldn't say she's good at it. She's just one of the main ones that does it. That doesn't necessarily mean that you're good at it, though. Next up, I think we've got a few more left. Yeah, so that happened, and I fucking loved it. I didn't think this series could get more complex than it freaking did, but in the best way. This was a ride from start to finish. Definitely faster moving than book one. That is true, I agree with that. Sexier, bloodier, high stakes. It was amazing. And if you are an SJ fan of her world overall, you are in for a treat. 6 stars. I wouldn't say it gets more complex. I mean, complex in the sense that it's now widened up to this wider multiverse, I guess. But I wouldn't say the plot itself is that complex in this book. Maybe the next one it will be, but I disagree with that sentence in this book specifically. Next one. This is the last one. 5 out of 5. OMFG. I'm absolutely dead. I loved... Why is everybody dying with this book? Like, is that not like a health hazard? We should be banning this book if it's causing people to die, like literally dropping dead after they've read it. Like, that just doesn't seem right. I loved every single moment of this book, every twist and turn and surprise. This is her best book. I am so in love with every single character in the series. This is a masterful tale of finding your true family, mated love, and epic destiny. I feel like this is the same person that wrote the other review because she used the exact same words. I'm going to skip ahead a little bit. Rune Danan was such a great character in this book. I actually quite like Rune as a character, so I wouldn't say he was like the best well-written character in the world, but I think he's a decent character. Also, he's hot, enough said. Really? I don't get it when people like fancy characters. Like, I don't get it. Like, I really don't, but maybe that's just me. Let's go forward. Sarah is such a genius. I'm speechless. One of the few that I didn't love was Danica's role in the book as much as I loved her role in the first book. I felt like all of the things that Danica hid from Price really tainted the beautiful friendship that I feel like was portrayed in the first book. Thank you, person. You just picked up a really big issue for the book. Because again, they're still trying to give this narrative, or Sarah J. Maas is still trying to give this narrative that they were best friends. But everything Danica has done undermines that, so I totally agree with you. Regardless, the sequel was everything I wanted and more from a book. I agree with you on the last part. Everything else I disagree with you, and I partially agree on the Rune thing. So fairly mixed bag. I would say that was a more sound review. So there we have it. Thanks for watching, folks. I hope you enjoyed this one as well. I'll see you in the next one. If there's any other books that you want me to react to, let me know down below. I'd be more than happy to, and I'll see you in the comments. Thanks for watching. Stay safe, take care, and see you soon. Bye.